Hello. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
S.A.G. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. Governor Buren told me to pay you a visit.
Oh, it is you who arrested Dr. S.A.G. and must help me prepare the trial.
Exactly.
Excellent. We will have lots to do if we want the doctor to pay for his crimes. The accused has a lot of support. Any evidence and testimonies you can gather will be useful.
We'll have no problem gathering witnesses. His laboratory cells were full of them.
We will call them to the witness box, of course. But be aware that if the victims are natives, their words will unfortunately not carry much weight here.
There were also some noughts. Perhaps I could convince some of the doctor's colleagues to talk.
Their testimony will be crucial. The word of other scholars is likely to be the only thing that condemns him. That plus any material evidence you can gather.
I picked up a strange powder in the laboratory. A substance that I've not been able to identify.
You should show it to an alchemist. We need to know what it is to be able to use it.
These documents describe Dr. S.A.G's work, as well as the horrible experiments he was performing.
Perfect. I will read them in detail. We will no doubt find something to support my prosecution.
I have found a letter proving that Dr. S.A.G voluntarily transmitted the Malachor to my cousin, Constantin d'Orsay. I would like to add that I too was a victim of this poisoning.
Did the accused try to take the life of the governor of New Serene? This is an extremely serious crime.
Indeed. He saw my cousin and me as the ideal control group to prove his theories. And no humanitarian or diplomatic consideration could put a stop to his ambition.
This letter alone is crucial proof. I will put it on our file.
Do we have any chance of winning?
Yes, I am rather confident. You have provided overwhelming evidence. But if we had witnesses, we would have an even bigger chance of winning.
I will return to you soon. The Nauts should be at the port, and the islanders had to take refuge in Vikshadie. As for the scientists, they said they would go back to the governor's laboratory.
Good day.
I never thought I'd see you here again. Why are you still free?
Dr. Honor made sure that I was set free. He needed my help. What do you want?
What do the other scholars think of Dr. S.A.G now that his actions have been revealed for all to see?
Most still admire him greatly. He was the greatest amongst us, you know? They didn't witness what was happening in the lab, and they have little interest in the natives. For them, the main problem is political, given that the war against the rebels cost us dearly. Until they understand the horrors that happened there, they will not have any moral issues.
I discovered this strange powder in one of the laboratory's chests. Do you know what it is?
I did see the doctor using it once or twice, but I don't know what it is. But I can study it for you if you want. I have the tools that will allow me to do so here.
So? What is it?
It is a quintessence of black blood. Probably created using the blood of numerous patients. The doctor managed to harness the very concept of the Malachor in this powder. A single pinch ingested by someone would be enough for them to be afflicted by the disease. With the quantities that you brought me, hundreds of people could be contaminated. It's terrifying. I cannot believe S.A.G would do such a thing. Here, these are my notes. I wrote down all the details of my experiments, as well as my conclusions.
Thank you. I will relay them to the prosecutor. What is your purpose here?
I helped Dr. Unur to understand the research of my former master. He's the one who became his successor.
I do hope that he doesn't use the same methods.
Of course not.
What about your other colleagues? What's become of them?
They felt guilty. They stopped their experiments and returned to S.A.G.
Are you prepared to testify against Dr. Asili?
I would like to say no. You had me thrown in prison, and without Dr. Unur's intervention, I would still be there. But I can't stop thinking about what we did in that laboratory. I think only by testifying will I ease my conscience.
Thank you. Your story could change the outcome of this trial. I must leave you. What she saw working alongside Asili obviously upset her. She will make an excellent witness.
S.A.G, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
I would like you to tell me about Asili.
I was expecting you to come and see me about this. What would you like to know?
Do you think, as your master does, that science justifies all sacrifices?
No. I may have believed that at one time, without of course ever imagining that we'd resort to such cruel treatment. But Dunkus, you and Siora have opened my eyes to the limits of science. To worship it as we do in the Alliance does not make us better than Thélème.
Were you aware of Dr. Asili's experiments?
In part, yes. That's why I chose not to be his student any longer.
Why not say anything?
Because I never thought he would go so far. Over time, he became more and more cruel. I found his approach brutal. As if by meeting the natives it deprived him of all humanity. He spoke of them as test subjects, never as people. But there was a time when he was the greatest doctor and scientist in the Alliance. And I clung on to that memory.
You do know that you were captured thanks to him?
Yes, but I thought the natives wanted to trade us merely as prisoners of war. I was blind. And stupid. I regret it terribly.
In your opinion, were the horrors practiced in this laboratory necessary for his research?
No, even if he was convinced of it. General interest outweighs the suffering of a few individuals. He wanted results quickly, to the point of neglecting slower, more humane methods. I hope we'll succeed in ensuring these experiments never happen again.
Would you be willing to testify against Dr. Asili during his trial?
Of course. I was going to talk to you about that. I want to convince my colleagues that we must give up these kind of methods. And even if it costs me dearly, I want my master to pay for what he did. Anything else?
I must leave you.
Glad to see you, my friend. Can I do anything for you?
I must leave you.
You're back. What do you want now?
I must leave you. Doctor...
Dr. Honor, what do you want?
What is your role and what is your research topic?
I'm in charge of the Governor's laboratories. My main research concerns the Malachor, of course. Above all, we searched for a way to reduce the suffering of the sick.
Searched.
Now that we have access to my colleague S.A.G's work, it gives us hope of finding a cure.
So the crimes he committed while conducting his work do not concern you?
He will be judged for that. But it would be a shame for him to have done all this for nothing.
What do you think of Dr. S.A.G now that you've learned how he conducted his research?
Well, obviously the few excesses he has conceded himself are unfortunate, but he remains the greatest scientist that the Alliance has ever known. His work has had a profound effect on science. It seems quite unfair to me to reduce his life's work just to what he has done lately.
If I understand correctly, you will be one of his defenders.
Naturally. I don't deny that he made a terrible mistake, but he meant well. And he was probably acting on behalf of our helplessness to combat the Malachor.
Would you agree to speak at the trial? Your influence could be crucial.
Oh, but I already intended to give a statement. His lawyer came to find me.
So are you ready to defend a man who used to torture and murder to advance his research?
Indeed, because I think the entire work of a scientist should not be judged on a single mistake. It is obvious that he should not have used such methods, but S.A.G has never been very political. I doubt he understood the implications of his actions.
So you're saying the only problem in this case is political?
Essentially, yes. The war he nearly caused could have been expensive for our governor and the city, but let's not fool ourselves. No tears will be shed over the fate of a few of those bloodthirsty savages.
Afra, did you have something to say to Dr. Honor?
Thank you, S.A.G. I feel it is my duty to warn him. You probably know that I was one of Dr. S.A.G's students.
Naturally. It is undoubtedly under his influence that you have developed this remarkable analytical spirit.
Perhaps. But my analytical mind also pushed me to refuse to continue working with him. I saw his madness and cruelty grow deeper, and what we discovered in this laboratory was abominable. We must condemn him, not only so he can pay for this crime, but to free science from these kinds of abject methods.
Very well. You've convinced me. I will now testify for the prosecution. It is true that it's time to turn the page and leave his cruel methods behind.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Honor is an influential scholar. His testimony would convince the judges. Hello, Captain.
Well now, what fair wind blows you into port?
I have to go.
As you wish.
Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! Bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
Is everything all right?
Once again, thanks to you. These people wanted to kill me.
They certainly wanted to prevent you from testifying at the doctor's trial.
The doctor will be judged. I suppose you'd like me to testify about how we suffered.
Indeed. If you do not fear another attempt on your life by these men.
Don't worry. I won't put up with intimidation. From now on, my people will watch over me until I can testify. And I intend to witness the execution of our torturer. You can count on me.
Thank you. Your word will be crucial during the trial.
Hey! You are the Onol Menawi who freed us. We managed to reach Vikshadir.
They told me what you did for them, Renaikse. Well done. I was able to give them the care they needed. Some wounds will take time to heal, but they are safe thanks to you.
I'm happy to see that they're better.
But you didn't come here for that, did you?
No. I came to ask for your help. The doctor who captured and tortured you is about to be tried for his crimes. He has a lot of support among his people. He's a respected man despite what he did. If we don't have testimony from some of his victims, he will surely be released.
You'll have our words. We'll go to the Grand City and tell our story.
And the Mad Lion will die for causing so much harm to our people.
May the earth engulf him. You can return to Hikmet. I'll make sure they get there in good health.
Thank you, Tiernahach. And thank you all. I blame myself for forcing these poor people back to the city where they have suffered so much. Hello, Mev.
Renoikse, why have you come here again?
Can you tell me about Enonmil Frichteman?
I already told you. He is the god of 1,000 faces. His spirits, which run in the rivers, carry our steps. They flow under the bark of the trees and whisper in our ears through the breeze. They are our father, our protector, our healer, and our gravedigger. They are the source and the cycle. But I doubt that some Renaigse could understand that.
What is the role of a Tierna Hach Cadactus?
In every generation, all the Donegada of the island choose a Tierna Hach Cadactas. She has to be the best of them all. She advises them, and sometimes guides them. She must help them to remember that everything they receive must be given back. That we are part of a cycle. She must know all the secrets of the island. Pass them on to those who are deserving and protect them from the Moni Sinaig. And no, I won't entrust you with these secrets. You are on Ol Menawi, but you are not a Donegad.
I have to go. Goodbye.
I'm not sure that I want the wind to bring you back to me.
Hello? I have to go. Goodbye.
I'm not sure that I want the wind to bring you back to me.